Storage batteries in a solar photovoltaic system must have a minimum workspace depth of 30 inches according to the National Electrical Code, specifically NEC 2020 Article 480.40. This workspace requirement is crucial for ensuring the safety of individuals who may need to access, inspect, maintain, or repair these batteries. The depth of the workspace refers to the clear distance available in front of the battery system. This clear space allows technicians to perform necessary tasks without being unduly hindered by obstructions or cramped conditions. This requirement is not arbitrary, it stems from a need to mitigate potential hazards associated with working on or near battery systems. Batteries can pose several risks, including the presence of corrosive electrolytes, the potential for off-gassing of explosive hydrogen, and the risk of electrical shock from high-voltage direct current. Sufficient workspace is also imperative for handling tools and equipment safely and effectively. When performing maintenance or repairs, technicians often need to use specialized tools, test equipment, and replacement parts. A cramped workspace can make it difficult to maneuver these items safely, increasing the risk of accidents and errors. Moreover, a larger workspace facilitates proper ventilation. Batteries, especially lead-acid batteries, can release hydrogen gas during charging. If this gas accumulates in a confined space, it can create an explosion hazard. Adequate ventilation helps to dissipate the gas, reducing the risk of ignition. Furthermore, a sufficient workspace provides room for emergency egress. In the event of an accident or equipment malfunction, technicians need to be able to quickly and safely exit the area. A clear workspace ensures that escape routes are unobstructed. The National Electrical Code, or NEC, is a set of standards and guidelines for safe electrical installations. It is updated regularly to reflect the latest technologies, best practices, and safety requirements. The NEC is not law itself, but it is widely adopted by state and local jurisdictions as the basis for their electrical codes. Article 480.40 specifically addresses the workspace requirements for stationary battery systems. This article outlines not only the minimum depth, but also the minimum width and height of the workspace. The width of the workspace should be at least 30 inches or the width of the equipment, whichever is greater. This ensures that there is adequate lateral space for technicians to move around and work comfortably. The height of the workspace should be at least 6.5 feet or the height of the equipment, whichever is greater. This provides sufficient headroom to prevent bumping into overhead obstructions and to allow for working in a comfortable upright position. In addition to the depth, width, and height requirements, the workspace must also be clear of obstructions. This means that there should be no pipes, ducts, or other equipment located within the workspace that could impede access to the battery system. The workspace must also be adequately illuminated. Sufficient lighting is essential for performing tasks safely and accurately. The NEC requires a minimum illumination level of 10-foot candles measured at the working surface. This ensures that technicians can see clearly and avoid making mistakes. Furthermore, the workspace must be provided with appropriate safety signage. This signage should warn of potential hazards, such as the presence of corrosive electrolytes or the risk of electrical shock. The signage should also provide instructions for safe operation and maintenance of the battery system. The NEC also addresses the need for ventilation in battery rooms or enclosures. As mentioned earlier, batteries can release hydrogen gas during charging, which can create an explosion hazard. The NEC requires that battery rooms or enclosures be provided with adequate ventilation to prevent the accumulation of hydrogen gas. The specific ventilation requirements depend on the type and size of the battery system. In some cases, natural ventilation may be sufficient. In other cases, mechanical ventilation may be required. The NEC also addresses the need for spill containment in battery rooms or enclosures. Batteries contain corrosive electrolytes, such as sulfuric acid or potassium hydroxide. If these electrolytes spill, they can cause damage to equipment and injury to personnel. The NEC requires that battery rooms or enclosures be provided with spill containment measures to prevent the spread of spilled electrolytes. These measures may include curbs, dikes, or other barriers to contain spills. The NEC also addresses the need for fire protection in battery rooms or enclosures. Batteries can be a fire hazard, especially if they are overcharged or short-circuited. The NEC requires that battery rooms or enclosures be provided with fire protection measures to prevent the spread of fire. These measures may include fire-resistant construction, fire extinguishers, or automatic fire suppression systems. It is important to note that the NEC is not a design manual. It provides minimum requirements for safe electrical installations. It is the responsibility of qualified electrical designers and installers to ensure that battery systems are designed and installed in accordance with all applicable codes and standards. In addition to the NEC, there may be other applicable codes and standards that must be followed. These may include local building codes, fire codes, and environmental regulations. It is important to consult with local authorities to determine which codes and standards apply to a particular installation. In summary, the minimum workspace depth for storage batteries in a solar photovoltaic system is 30 inches, as specified in NEC 2020 Article 480.40. This requirement is essential for ensuring the safety of individuals who may need to access, inspect, maintain, or repair these batteries. In addition to the depth requirement, the NEC also specifies minimum width and height requirements for the workspace, as well as requirements for illumination, signage, ventilation, spill containment, and fire protection. Compliance with these requirements is essential for ensuring a safe and reliable solar photovoltaic system installation. When designing and installing a battery system, it is important to consider not only the NEC requirements but also any other applicable codes and standards. Consulting with qualified electrical designers and installers is essential to ensure that the system is designed and installed in accordance with all applicable requirements. Remember to always prioritize safety when working with electrical systems. Batteries can pose several hazards, including the risk of electrical shock, exposure to corrosive electrolytes, and the potential for fire or explosion. Always wear appropriate personal protective equipment such as safety glasses, gloves, and insulated tools. Follow all safety procedures and guidelines, and never work on a battery system unless you are properly trained and qualified.